So when I given a more complex scenery like this kitchen set, for example, I like to start my modeling by choosing the easiest object to model. So maybe in this example, I'm going to model a plate first, maybe, then followed by this partition, then this cabinet, and so on and so on. Okay, so you kind of like choosing the simplest one, and then as you go along, you build up by choosing more and more complex shape or model. Now, I'm just going to show you um, another tips when you're doing the 3D modeling. So another thing that you should keep in mind is that when you're modeling a complex shape like this, for example, this cabinet, I like to create the model separately. So what it means, like, I'm going to create this door separately, and I'm going to create the knob separately. One of the reason is that I don't have to struggle with the topology, and secondly is that it looks more real. Okay, because in the real life, the knob and the door frame of this cabinet are supposed to be separately. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to Maya, and I'm just gonna show you how I do this first doorknob. Okay, so again, I'm gonna use my cylinder as a start, and I'm gonna use extrude. So this shape can be easily achieved by just using extrude. Okay, and again, like I mentioned before, I'm just gonna use a G to repeat the last command. Right, and like that. Now, I would prefer that everybody do a little bit of variation as a doorknob, right, as compared to just leave it like this. Okay, so even with very simple tool like extrusion, I can create a nice looking knob for it. So I'm gonna press G, I'm gonna make it smaller, and this time I'm gonna push it inside, right, and again I'm gonna press G again, scale it, right, and then like I'm gonna press G again and push up, and I have like this kind of knob. Okay, so it's much better looking as compared to just a plain knob. Okay, and again, if you look at the reference picture, these knobs are being used again and again. Okay, so it is a good idea if you create a one nice looking knob that can be duplicated. Okay, so once you're happy with the knob, right, um, I can actually push this upward. Now, uh, because the placement of the knob, right, for example, like in this one is actually stuck to the frame of the door, we actually cannot see this portion of the faces. Okay, so meaning that I can actually delete that portion without having trouble in the future. Okay, because again, every polygon that you create here, it will actually take a memory. Okay, and we try to be efficient with the modeling. Okay, because in case you model these for games and you don't want the game to be lagging because of your modeling. Okay, so we need to be wary about how many polygon that you are putting in your model. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to select all the bottom pieces, or maybe the bottom faces rather. I'm going to deselect. Okay, so make sure only the bottom pieces are being selected. Then from that, I can actually delete, because I know that this knob will actually be stuck into the frame of that cabinet, so it will not be show. Okay, again, once you're happy with the shape, I'm going to clean up the model, because right now everything's very messy and it's not properly renamed. So I'm gonna click this one time each. Okay, so everything's nice, and don't forget to rename cabinet knob, maybe one mesh. Okay, now So to duplicate this knob, right, you can simply press Ctrl D. So Ctrl D will create another replicate of that knob. Then you can place this somewhere else and adjust it accordingly. Okay, maybe it's -90. And once you're happy with the placement, don't forget to do the history and then freeze up all the location. Okay, and make sure the naming convention is also correct. Okay, we don't want this mesh one. We prefer to be cabinet underscore knob to underscore mesh. Okay, and again, if you need another copy, you can press Ctrl D, do it again, place somewhere else, and then make sure the naming convention is correct. Okay, so that's how I create these very simple